Has the internet killed Thailand's bar scene? We've got an MP challenging the PM to a fist fight, and no more Thais in Afghanistan. Good morning, welcome to Good Morning Thailand. It's Monday, the 23rd of August. Today's show is brought to you by Boat Pattaya of Boat Avenue and Shambhala, Phuket. For more information on their properties, see the link in the description below. Welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Well, this week we're going to be doing a slightly different program whereby we've got my business partner, Mike Kenner, joining Jay and me. Hi, Jay.
Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Hi. Good morning.
And we're going to have a talking point each day. And today we're speaking about, well, it's not quite talking about OnlyFans, but OnlyFans is sort of the latest iteration of an interruption to the bar scene. So we're going to get stuck into it in detail. Great, good response. For now, we're going to check the latest COVID numbers with Jay.
Yes, we will. Today, Tim, we have 17,491 new infections, 398 from prisons, 242 new COVID-related deaths. Currently, we had 22,134 people who were recovered and discharged from care. Unfortunately, we still have 195,454 patients still in care. Now, I have a little extra statistics for you today. We had 5,290 people in ICUs yesterday, 1,094 on artificial respiration. Currently, we still have 26,016,086 people who have received at least one dose of their vaccine.
Okay, well, I suppose the good news in all that is that it looks like the trend over the past 2 weeks is definitely levelling off and heading down. So I think we're going to probably see over the next week or so, maybe the CCSA saying we might start easing restrictions. It's going to make life a lot easier for everybody.
Sure, I hope they don't do it too soon. It's nice to see the numbers finally drop down below 20,000. I hope the trend does continue.
Okay. All right, Mike, time to get into action and this talk about the disruption. And this is something that we've wanted to talk about for quite a while. So let's have a start by talking about what is OnlyFans.
Yeah, okay, cool. So OnlyFans is basically a website which is similar to like Patreon, where content creators can put exclusive content behind a paywall and their subscribers can pay to view the content. Beyond that, they can also engage with the content creator and pay separate fees to have personal contact with the content creator. So that's kind of what OnlyFans is. It started in the UK and it really blew up during the pandemic.
So I think a lot of people associate OnlyFans sort of with the porn industry, but it wasn't started for that reason.
No, I think it's all content creators are on there. It could be a chef, it could be anyone. But I think what's happened during the pandemic is that a lot of adult content has made its way from what Instagram banned adult content, which was the big move. So OnlyFans really came in and filled the gap and allowed content creators to monetize their content effectively. So
how did the pandemic accelerate the growth of OnlyFans, and why has it grown so fast? Why are we talking about it?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and I think so. During the pandemic, a lot of female bar girls found themselves without work as all the bars were closed, and how do they get any money here? It's not just Thailand; it's happened everywhere. And I think people at home, and they realise, especially if you're a young, beautiful, attractive female, but for anyone really. They're on Instagram. They've all got 5,000-10,000 followers, like huge amounts of following. Maybe some people have more. Some people have 50,000 followers. And they're posting all their pictures and content for free. So they found out about this OnlyFans model, and it's actually a great business where they put their OnlyFans link on their Instagram, and they say, hey, if you want to see content which isn't available on Instagram, go to my OnlyFans.
If you want to see more.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. And they have subscription fees, and it kind of absolutely blew up during the pandemic, specifically in Thailand.
So in the past, the model of the bar scene has been that there's been pimps who employ these bar girls who get a commission on the drinks and whatever transaction happens between the bar girl and the customer. So this is sort of just taken the pimps out of the the statistics.
100%. Because if I was in their position, you could literally spend an hour or two a day, upload one or two pictures, and you would have, say, I don't know, a few hundred to a few thousand people paying monthly subscriptions for your content. So the work is very limited. You can do this from the convenience of your home. And instead of them getting paid, very small amounts of money, they're now making huge amounts of money on OnlyFans, incredible amounts of money.
Well, you got sort of like anecdotal numbers. Have you got many friends who either watch OnlyFans or you know of with OnlyFans, Jay?
Definitely. I mean, before it used to be more, like you said, it wasn't always, associated with porn or sexual content. At first, it was if you could follow your favorite cook, your favorite celebrity, and it's
like
just
me.
Exactly. If you just wanted inside access to your celebrities, it was a way for fans to connect to someone that they really admire or are a fan of. But since COVID, I guess the perception of OnlyFans has just become sexual content. Like, sure. God forbid a woman says, "Oh, I'm on OnlyFans," your mind just takes you to one place. Sure. Unfortunately, sure. And maybe that's why they've kind of banned adult content now. But I do know a couple of friends who are models who want to connect with their fans and are on OnlyFans without any sexual content.
Well, I suppose the thing we're going to have a talk about after the break, Mike, is that how this is actually currently affecting the bar scene and how it might affect it into the future. So really interesting stuff. Mike Kenner, our guest commentator today with Jay and me. You are watching Good Morning Thailand. Thank you to our sponsor, Shambhala. We'll be back right after this break.
US Vice President Kamala Harris landed in Singapore yesterday to kick off her Southeast Asia visit that will also include a stop in Vietnam. An awkward visit which will draw comparisons between Afghanistan and the pullout from Saigon in 1975. Indonesia is poised to start producing more palm oil as a ban comes to an end, but activists are urging the Indonesian government to extend a moratorium on permits for new palm oil plantations. Construction on an Indonesian tourism project nicknamed Jurassic Park in the Komodo National Park will continue. Despite UNESCO warnings, the plans could have a negative environmental impact. Sorry folks, no dinosaurs. Japan's minister in charge of the coronavirus response is considering tougher measures to curb COVID infections, with numbers surging as the Paralympics continue in Tokyo. Vietnam's plan to prohibit residents of Ho Chi Minh City from leaving their homes from today have triggered panic buying over the weekend, in the epicenter of the country's coronavirus outbreak. 2 more reporters have fallen victim to Myanmar's crackdown against independent journalism. A commentator with the US-backed Voice of America radio and a freelance producer working with the BBC. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has ordered the arrangement of payments for healthcare workers who have not received their benefits on time, following nurses' threats to resign and strike warnings by unions.
And you're on Good Morning Thailand. It's Monday. Thank you for joining us. And we're having a talk about Thailand's bar scene and the impact technology has had on it. Mike and Jay, how does the system work at the moment? I'm not a frequenter of bars, but what would happen if you went into a bar, say, 2 years ago in Pattaya or in Bangla Road? How does it work?
Well, okay, let's start with how it used to work. So ideally, you'd go to, Walking Street or a bar, you'd get the girl, and then if you want...
Sorry, when you say get the girl...
Yeah.
You start talking to her.
Yeah, you start talking to her, you start liking the girl, and, for any person, alleged prostitution, whatever you want to call it, if you wanted the girl, I guess, you'd have to pay a bar fee to take the girl out of the bar. And then you'd have to pay the fee to the owner of the bar or the pimp or whoever he is. And after so after you've set that money to get the girl out of the bar, then you deal with the girl yourself and pay her whatever amount that you've come up with. And then I guess with OnlyFans, the game's changed.
So I think for the audience to understand exactly how it's gone about, if we just talk about, early on. So if we go back, say, 15 years, if you wanted to meet someone in Thailand, you'd probably have to exchange phone numbers with them. This was pre, the whole evolution of smartphones. So you would meet someone, you probably meet someone out in a bar or a restaurant, a library, wherever you would find yourself, and you would exchange numbers, and that was why you stayed in contact with them. During the whole Facebook and Instagram, kind of evolution, what happened is some of these, young, attractive women ended up with thousands of followers. So the game, or not the game, but the actual concept changed, where you would now contact them on the social media, Instagram, Facebook, and their choice opened up exponentially. And the whole swift move to Instagram really did happen. So they all started moving to Instagram, posting pictures. There's loads of beautiful, attractive young women posting pictures there. And I think at that point, it was like, we're posting these pictures to our audience for free. Now, they don't know their audience. They've got 10,000 followers, maybe all over the world. Why would they give this content for free? And I think that was the evolution to OnlyFans, where they decided we should charge a small nominal fee for these people we don't know to view this content and to get in contact with us.
Right, now the elephant in the room in this whole talk is that OnlyFans now is talking about stopping the sexual content from, I think, October the 1st. And so a lot of these content creators, I've noticed in the past couple of weeks, are now posting alternative sites. Well, firstly, why is OnlyFans talking about getting rid of their sexual content? And what does it mean for the site?
It's a good question, Tim. So I think it's two predominant reasons of why they're doing this. The first is to do with the payment gateways. So Visa and MasterCard have a total monopoly on relation to payments. And they have said, because on OnlyFans there's been underage content there was a transparency report where they found 15 accounts that had underage content, which I'm sure there's a lot more. So Visa and MasterCard have said we're banning payments unless you fall in line with what we require. So there's definitely a monopoly, and questions arise around, is this even fair, where payment processors now control what content we can view? That's the first thing. The second thing is, I believe that OnlyFans wants to go public, and becoming public as an adult gateway, it might not work. And we saw the same with other platforms that have had similar issues. So OnlyFans have announced on Thursday that they're banning explicit adult content. Now, we don't know what explicit adult content is defined as, but I think the rules will become more clear as time goes on.
Yeah, Mike makes a great point. And also, Tim, to further elaborate, I don't necessarily think full-on explicit sexual content is necessary to retain those subscribers. There's power in a little mystery. I mean, all these girls, you have all this choice in whichever girl you want, and you can subscribe to the one you like. So the fact that you have a choice to pick the person you want and just subscribe to them, there's a lot of power in that.
Well, that's a really interesting point. The third point, which is going to be, what does this mean once Thailand sort of reopens? And that's either months or a year or so away. How is it going to impact Thailand? That's our next point. Mike Kenny here, our guest today, guest commentator. We've got Jay down the end of the table there. We're going to have a quick break, check out Thailand's main headline stories, and we'll come back with more of Good Morning Thailand right after this. MP Mongkolkit Suksintharanon has challenged PM Prayut Chon-o-cha to a bare-knuckled kickboxing match. If the PM loses, he steps down as PM. That was the deal posed by an MP for the Thai Civilised Party, challenging the PM to a 3-round kickboxing match at Lumpini Stadium. He offered to use only his feet and right arm as a handicap, since he's a much younger man. He said if he lost, he'd stand down as an MP. He said if the PM rejected the challenge or didn't respond within a 10-day window, then Prayut would need to resign for his cowardice. A spokesperson for the ruling Palang Pracharat coalition sparked up over the weekend, calling into question how the challenger could ever have been elected as an MP. We might be able to help with the answer. Unlike the entire Senate in Thailand, the MP was actually elected by his constituents. Following the raid and breakup of a party at a luxury villa in Koh Samui on Friday, it's been revealed that 5 of the people in attendance had previously had COVID-19. Now another 2 in the party have also tested positive, causing a wave of quarantines and isolations for the people attending and the police. An Australian expat said to be the owner of the Lamborghini Villas, where the party allegedly took place, was one of the people infected. The other was a Thai guest of the party. 5 Thai people at the party and 1 Russian person had previously tested positive for COVID after attending another entertainment venue operating on Samui, despite the emergency decree banning them. Meanwhile, last night a group of students and teachers in the city district of Nakhon Ratchasima were caught gathering with an abundance of alcohol and a noticeable lack of COVID-19 safety measures. 23 students and teachers were gathered in a house enjoying drinks without wearing masks or observing social distancing. Police were tipped off about an obvious gathering in a 2-storey house in a village of Nakhon Ratchasima and went to investigate. The partygoers were between 20 and 35 and were drinking and socialising when police arrived. One of the older people in the group explained to the police that he was a professor at the local university and that the others were his students. Nakhon Ratchasima is currently a dark red zone under the maximum restrictions. Last week, Chiang Mai reported that due to the COVID-19 situation and the slow vaccination rollout, they're going to delay their planned September reopening to October at the earliest. Now, Pattaya has also acknowledged that their plan for reopening on September the 1st is unlikely to happen. With just a week to go, the president of the Pattaya Business and Tourism Association says there's a very slim chance that Pattaya City will be ready to reopen to international travellers by September the 1st. But like Chiang Mai, the reopening plan for Pattaya hinged on getting at least 70% of the people living in the province fully vaccinated before the date. Now, with delays and bottlenecks in Thailand's vaccine rollout, hitting that target next week would be almost impossible. Thailand's Foreign Ministry spokesperson has confirmed that all Thai nationals have left Afghanistan. They have all been safely evacuated and are in Qatar and Kuwait. The ministry doesn't believe there are any unknown or unaccounted for Thai people remaining in Afghanistan at this time. The last of the 4 was evacuated on Friday and they've now arrived in Qatar and Kuwait. And a German national has been found dead with a gunshot wound to his head in a Phuket hotel room. Thai media reports that police believe the wound was self-inflicted. The apparent suicide was reported on Saturday night at the Amata Patong Hotel. Police found a 41-year-old German man deceased on a bed after being called to the hotel. A pistol was found in the man's right hand. At this stage, the man's name has not been revealed. Police found a note and a quantity of antidepressants in the man's room. So, coming back after a quick break with Jay and Mike, our special guests today, and we'll, of course, have the weather coming up later on Good Morning Thailand. Back to Good Morning Thailand. Thank you for joining us this morning, the first day of the week. And this is a week where we've got our guest commentator, Mike, who's going to be doing our talking points each day. Today we're having a talk about the influence and the impact of technology and how it's disrupted the bar scene, well, not necessarily just in Thailand, but around the world, but specifically Thailand. I actually, knowing that we were going to talk about this today, I did a quick survey yesterday. So I said, will Patong, Pattaya, Bangla Road, Soy Cowboy, Nana, etc. ever recover to their halcyon days? I'm talking about sort of pre-2019. Which statement better suits your thoughts on the matter? And so we said, and this is going from the least most popular response. The least most popular response was no. Things like OnlyFans and social media have replaced the need. Only 2% actually believe that, which is interesting. Thailand's days as a red light destination are in the past. That garnered 8%. The next one was no. The golden days of bar girls and bar boys is over. 10% believed that. 33% of people said yes, recover and thrive. There'll always be a demand. But the most popular response was this one: yes, it will return, but nothing like in the past. So that's what our readers thought. Some 2,000 people voted. What are your thoughts on that?
So I have to agree with the readers. I think that there's always going to be demand for the bar scene, for social connection. I just think it will not return in the same capacity. Now, what I mean by that is that with all the Instagram, evolution, very attractive young women will no longer be found in bars, and because there is a huge demand for this, everywhere. So I think these type of women have huge amount of options, a huge amount of choice, which they didn't have access to before. So yes, the bar scene will come back, their bars will still exist, but I would imagine that, unfortunately, without me trying to be, not too unpolitically correct, it'd be full of, slightly unattractive older women. I think
it's also going to push the price for the bar girls up, isn't it?
Yes, I would imagine so. I think
there'll be inflation.
Yeah, because I think all the OnlyFans model has done is created this whole sponsorship model. It's quite a clever model. It's sponsorship where instead of going out and asking, one person to sponsor you with a huge amount of money, you're just asking sponsorship from a community, and the amount of money they can attract is quite, insane. And fair play to them. So I think that the bar scene will come back. Of course, there's always a demand for social interaction. Definitely not in the same capacity that it existed. And it was changing anyway. It was changing over the last 10 years, down to social media like Instagram and Facebook. So I don't know, Jay, what do you think?
I agree with you and the viewers. I think either two things will happen. One, it comes back and it's just going to be, worse than before, and it's just going to be bad generally, or it's just going to be completely taken over by things like OnlyFans, and it's just going to, be nothing, end up being nothing in a couple of years. It's going to take some time. It will come back, but it's going to be...
So can I ask the other question is, how do people go to bars because they just want to have a drink and interact and enjoy the atmosphere, or do they go to pick up a bar girl or bar boy?
I think it depends where you're at. I think, of course, people just go for a friendly social drink. If you're in Patong, it'll be very, very unlikely. But if you look over the past 10 years, I'm just thinking how long I've been in Phuket, Patong has changed so much, where it used to be, very cheap, and you'd go around small bars, and now there's huge venues and clubs like Illusion and other venues where it's now turning into like what London was, where champagne bottles are being ordered, like a sparklers, you've got VIP sections. The whole environment has changed anyway there, where it became very, very expensive and very much for show, similar to what we would find in other countries. Not to the extreme that, say, London would have, but it was coming close. So I think it was all changing anyway, and the whole concept of just a beer bar where there's a few young attractive ladies in there could be something of the past. But we're yet to see.
Yeah, and especially the go-go bars, or the bars that would have girls out in the open, they're less frequent now, and they're more hidden in the alleys. So Bangla in Phuket in general has, like Mike said, we've got big clubs now, and there's a huge local population, people coming from Bangkok, and a lot of tourists who just want to enjoy the party scene and not the red light areas.
Yeah.
Well, there's a huge underground economy connected to all of this. Payments, brown paper bags. This is going to be heavily affected as well. It may be an argument to say that the bar scene was radically changing, as you suggested, before 2019 anyway. This technology, this rollout, is just exacerbating it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that what's happened in the pandemic is pushing everything, not just in this kind of environment, but everything forward. Everything that was going to happen is now happening at such a rapid pace anyway. So I think COVID is effectively reshaping all different types of microenvironments, and this is definitely one of them. Jay, what do you think?
I agree. At the end of the day, I think something good will come out of this.
Really?
No, what I mean is Pattaya has this certain image of partying in Pattaya is different to partying in Phuket. And if this makes Phuket have a better image, because Phuket's a great place just to party without the red light district. So I think it's going to move in a positive way.
Yeah.
All right, we're very interested. Final word?
Just to add, I think with the evolution of YouTube and smartphones, what was a kind of a secret, kind of society where people can be hidden and not be exposed, with the current modern way where everyone has smartphones, the people working in this industry, they're getting their pictures taken, they're appearing on videos, whether that's on YouTube or even other sites. So I think there's more concern around people's privacy and if these people can live normal lives. I think part of the sad thing about OnlyFans is some of these content creators have committed to doing explicit content, and now with OnlyFans, they've taken that big gamble to expose themselves and really put their reputation up at risk and their future job opportunities. With OnlyFans now banning adult content, have they done this all in vain for such a short period of time, or will there be another site that comes up and picks up all the OnlyFans content creators, move them over, or does OnlyFans reverse a decision and allow this to go on?
Well, big questions whether it will continue, guaranteed 100%, and if OnlyFans bans it, there will be other sites. I think that's the history. All right, we're going to check Thailand's weather now. We'll come back and say goodbye. You're on Good Morning Thailand, sponsored by Shambhala. Thanks for joining us. Monday in Bangkok and 35 degrees, clear skies around the capital and much the same temperatures over the next few days, only getting down to 26 and 27 at night. Few showers, a bit of sunshine as well. To Phuket and clear skies abound. Certainly a bit of rain, rained a lot over the weekend. Top temperatures of 27 and 28 in the forecast period, dropping down to only 24 is about the lowest it's going to get. Up to the northeast of Thailand and clear skies again. Temperatures of 33, 34 over the next few days, down to 24 at night, and we're going to see some clouds, some sunshine, and a little bit of rain as well. To the north of Thailand and cooler weather up there, 32, 31, down to 30 by Wednesday. Clear skies and a little bit of rain around, down to 22 at night. To Cha Am and the central Gulf Coast, 32 degrees over the next few days, clear skies, and we've got a little bit of rain, but there will be some sunshine as well. And to Bang Lamung and the Pattaya area, and we've got moderate air quality, but temperatures around 30 through the forecast period, down to 25 to 27 at night time. Look out, there might be a few showers there as well. So that's the weather around Thailand, and that's the program. Mike Kenner has been our guest commentator today. Jay, Mike's got a big topic for tomorrow. It is...
That will be a surprise.
It's a secret.
So tune in tomorrow. And if you want to see Tim on OnlyFans, please just comment and like under the video and what you would like to see, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Yes. Hashtag Tim for OnlyFans.
Yeah, okay. And of course, we'll get your comments from yesterday. We'll talk about in our comments program, which is Thaiger Bites, which you can also see on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the Thaiger YouTube channel. It's under this video. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.